Last month, I made the controversial decision to work extra night shifts so I could have Christmas off to see my family in North Wales.
Bad decisions were made, guys. Very bad decisions.
The only difference between me and my family, whilst they enjoyed the week between Christmas and New Year, aka the festive perineum, I had to switch back to being nocturnal and prepare for one of my busiest and most anxiety-inducing shifts to date, New Year's Eve. But there were 10 brutal truths about the pressures of New Year's that I learned along the way. So if you want to see how I got on and everything I wish I knew 14 days ago, then make sure you stay tuned until the end.
3, 2, 1. Bad decisions were made, guys. Very bad decisions. So I want to take you back to Christmas Day last week. I'm enjoying a wonderful Christmas Day with my family. How did you do that, Faye, with such an awful rota? Well, I made a deal with the devil. Who is the devil, I hear you ask? Well, the devil is agreeing to work 5 night shifts in a row, then not even have 24 hours off before you're back in work the next day. As we speak right now, I'm about to head into night shift 4 of 5. Dylan has prepared me a wonderful Nando's inspired dinner, and I'm adding chips to my pita because, quite honestly, I'm losing the will to live.
Such a great idea.
Me losing the will to live. Cheers.
Lesson number 1, why you need to stop comparing yourself to influencers. Hint, they are not playing by the same rules. Most of the influencers we compare ourselves to don't have traditional jobs. I'm not saying they don't work hard, but they're their own bosses. They don't have to navigate commutes or schedules dictated by someone else. Yet we stack our achievements against theirs and wonder why we feel so overwhelmed. For me, that hit particularly hard this New Year. Whilst everyone else was levelling up, I was staring down 65 hours behind hospital walls. So here's the truth. If you work a full-time job and you're still managing to carve out some time for personal growth, then well done you. It's not easy to get home from work when you're exhausted and to choose to work on yourself, so you should be so proud.
Girlies, if you're a girlie in healthcare and your boyfriend/girlfriend drives and they don't drive you to your night shifts, what are they doing?
Lesson number 2, the secret power of jealousy that you're not using. We don't talk about jealousy enough. It's seen as this dirty, shameful thing. But I've realised jealousy isn't a bad emotion, it's a clue. A flashing neon sign from your subconscious saying, hello, this is what you want. I felt it creeping in this year as New Year's got closer. I found myself avoiding social media because I felt so jealous of creators with flexible lifestyles or those who always seem flawless on camera.
I've just been politely informed that A&E is rammed.
But instead of pushing it down, I tried to use it. It reminded me of why I'm working so hard to build more flexibility around 2 careers I love, especially the importance of the next few months in building them. I have also been telling myself I don't have time to go blonder for the past year. Hence, this impulsive decision to go blonder was to set the tone for a 2025, making more time for myself.
I love it. Oh my god. Good. That's pointed. It follows you everywhere. Like. Right, well, Dylan's verdict is he preferred my hair before.
Lesson number 3, why goals alone will never work and what actually will. Anyone can set a goal, run 10k, get healthier, save more money, but goals without systems are just dreams. The difference? Systems are about the daily choices that make those goals inevitable.
I think I'm in need of an AG1, guys.
I've been drinking AG1 every morning for over a year now, and it has made reaching my nutrition goals infinitely easier, which is why I'm so happy that they're sponsoring today's video and have even given you an exclusive code, which I'll get to in just a moment. Most New Year's resolutions fade fast, but AG1 is the one daily habit I do not skip. It's a comprehensive and convenient blend of over 70 high quality ingredients that arrives right at my doorstep. My morning ritual for boosting my nutrition has never been easier. Pour water first, then 1 scoop of AG1 and I'm done. I'm covering so many nutritional bases without juggling multiple supplements or a complicated routine. I love how it supports my energy and digestion so I can tackle my day feeling incredible. The best part is it actually tastes great. Subtle pineapple and vanilla flavours were a pleasant surprise. No added sugar, nothing artificial, just a tasty, refreshing start to the day. If you want to join me in making 2025 healthier and easier, check out drinkag1.com/faye or scan the QR code on screen now. You'll get a free bottle of vitamin D3 plus K2 and 5 extra travel packs with your first purchase. There's no better time to lock in this nutrition habit so that it'll actually stick.
Cheers.
Big thanks to AG1 for sponsoring this video, and here's to a year of better systems for all of us.
Course numero uno completed. Course numero dos. Every day for breakfast, whilst I've been on nights, me and Dylan have been watching Titanic to help me get to sleep.
Lesson number 4, the reason you're always burnt out and what life's seasons can teach us about balance. Elite athletes have off seasons. Bears hibernate for up to 7 months of the year, and the most prestigious universities in England have shorter, more intense terms followed by longer holiday periods. You need to stop expecting yourself to operate at 100% all the time. Working my brutal run of night shifts to get Christmas off reminded me that ebbs and flows aren't just natural, they're necessary. So the next time you're tempted to compare your low to someone else's peak, remember that life works in seasons.
Good night, God bless, and I will see you on the flip side. Good morning, guys. Plot twist. I just woke up from my nap and basically I swapped these shifts so that I could have Christmas off. The guy that I swapped these shifts with just messaged me and was like, hey Faye, on like our rota it says you're working, but I thought I was working. Okay, so I've woken up from my nap. I'm rested. I've slept. Like I'm ready for my night shift. You know, I'm ready for my 5 out of 5 night shift, and I want to see the fireworks. And he messaged me that at 3, and then I just messaged him saying, no, like it's okay. Like I'll do the shift. Don't worry. You spend it with your wife at home. I'll be in the hospital. They haven't delivered. And he hasn't read them. So I'm like, what are we doing? What are we gonna do? I'm ready, you know? I'm ready.
Lesson number 5, why New Year's Eve is always a letdown and how lowering your expectations can lead to the best surprises. This year I thought I'd be spending New Year's alone.
I'm working the night shift!
Squeezing in a quick break to watch the fireworks.
Last meal of 2024.
But instead, I ended up with 2 colleagues by my side, surrounded by hundreds of NHS staff and arguably the best view of the fireworks in London.
Yeah, I'm kind of short. Oh!
It's all about expectations. The higher they are, the bigger the disappointment, and luckily my expectations were on the floor. Sometimes the best moments are the ones you don't plan for. Lesson 6, the one goal everyone forgets to set. We focus so much on career goals, fitness goals, financial goals, but what about the people who matter most? Last year, my boyfriend told me he felt like I wasn't really listening when I asked him about how his day was. because I would end up zoning out when I was really tired after work. It hit me hard, but it also made me realise you can't pour everything into your job and expect your relationships to thrive.
Dylan, can we have the heating on all day today?
Yeah.
So this year I'm learning to be present with the people I love, because the time and energy we invest in others might just be the most important goals we ever set.
Well, let me tell you now, guys, the day has not gone to plan. The POA of the day, as it is my last night and then I'm in work tomorrow morning at 8 a.m, was raw dog the day, excuse my language. The day was not raw dogged. I've been asleep for 6 hours. I have so much to do. We're going away skiing on Saturday and I basically need to film all my January YouTube videos before we go away, because let's just say for the past few years when I've gone skiing, I've spent a large proportion of the evenings working because I did not organise everything before we went skiing, and I go with my family and Dylan's family and it's not very nice being antisocial. So yeah, I've woken up in a little bit of a panic, and I'm going to try and film 3 videos, even though, as you can imagine, I look pretty rough after working 5 nights. So we're going to try and get me a little bit more presentable in 3, 2, 1. And we are semi-ready to go.
Lesson 7. Stop setting yourself up for failure. The video I filmed will be up next Sunday and goes into the psychology and neuroscience of how to actually set goals, so that on December the 31st next year you won't be looking back with regret and envy, but instead pride. So make sure to hit the subscribe button just down there so you don't miss it.
I did not eat hardly any of my advent calendar chocolate because my mum posted me an advent calendar and Dylan bought me an advent calendar. So I've got 1. I've got so many! 2, 4. I'm going to share them with Dylan. 5, 6. And the big boy. 7. Then we have advent calendar number 2, 8. This is what happens when you're on night shifts and you forget what day it is. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Also, what happens when you have a healed relationship with food? Because I think when I was restricting what I ate, I would have demolished this chocolate. Everyone who has a bad relationship with food has that one food that they put on like a pedestal where like they can't control themselves around, and chocolate was my food. I would demolish just any chocolate that was in my path, and I just felt like I couldn't control myself around chocolate. For other people, it's like cheese or bread. Also bread, actually, for me. Bread was one before. And actually, it was an active task to remember to eat my advent calendar chocolate. And that is just so far away from Faye 3-4 years ago. It's crazy. And that's what happens when you stop restricting and you give yourself permission and heal your relationship with food. Cheers. And enjoy your food and stop feeling guilty about it. Oh my god. Good morning, guys. So I've just found out some kind of splendid news. The shift that I'm meant to be working today is overstaffed. I know. What in the NHS do you mean, overstaffed? Well, wonderful considering I've just come off nights. And one of the other trainees has said to me, because we're overstaffed, I could go into theatre for the day.
Lesson 8, the surprising cure for overwhelm. This week, when social media had me spiralling into comparison, a full day of losing myself in theatre and helping out by holding various limbs for the surgeons reminded me that sometimes the best way to feel like you're enough is to make someone else's day a little bit better. Not just because it's good to want to leave the world a better place than you found it, but it's also incredible for your mental health. When you get so caught up in your achievements and your progress, you can become so self-aware it becomes overwhelming and paralysing. So please, the next time you're feeling lost, remember the best way to give yourself purpose and get out of your head is to do something for someone else, no matter how small.
Of a debrief about my day. Oh my gosh. I spent the entire day in theatre and I was the queen of retraction and suction and leg holding for three hip replacements. And the last time I set foot into an orthopaedic theatre, I was in my first year of medical school and I don't even think I was allowed to scrub in. But let's just say after today, I completely understand the ortho bros stereotype, because there were points during today where I was holding the entire weight of somebody's leg and I thought I was going to pass out or my limbs were going to fail me and I was going to ruin everything. Or I'd be holding the retractor and the consultant literally went to the reg. He said,
"Help her, she's struggling."
And I was. He wasn't lying. I really, really, really was. But it was super fun. Really enjoyed myself. Bones are really gross. Watching the top of someone's femur just get popped off and popped out of a crevice in their leg that you've created is an interesting sight to see, but not one I'd recommend to a friend. Myself and Dylan are gonna go to the cinema. Ready? Let's go.
Lesson 9, the flaw no one tells you about manifestation and why vision board success stories aren't the whole truth. I love manifestation, but let's be honest, survivor bias is a pretty big flaw. At this time of year, you're bombarded by the success stories, but for every person who ticked off their vision board, there are countless others who worked just as hard and didn't get there. Finally, lesson number 10, why failing to meet your goals isn't necessarily a bad thing. If you didn't meet all your goals last year, it means you were ambitious, and that's good. I initially felt bad that I hadn't met all my targets for last year, but then I realised there were targets I set that I achieved way too early in the year, which means I didn't stretch myself enough. So shoot for the stars, because even if you land on the moon, you'll be closer than you were before. That being said, maybe your goal setting system could use a bit of fine tuning, so if you're ready to deep dive into how to set goals that actually work, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss my next video coming next Sunday at 6 p.m. And in the meantime, I think you'll love my video on how to change your life in 7 days, or if you want to see how my time as a doctor on palliative care completely changed my outlook, you'll love the video below. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Mwah.